always underestimate yourself. I'm underestimating you, William. I didn't know you had moves like this.
We're born in the moonlight. Ain't no fair to say. Can't breathe in the sunlight.
Hello, beautifuls. This is Aromie here, and welcome back to Changeling. We're here, about to have lunch with William for the very first time. Because if you guys remember last time, not this route, but during Danny's route, his spirit thingy flipped our freaking food over. That was the last of it. I wasn't sure what he meant by that, but I suppose that he knew Corbin better than I did. I stretched and leaned back on the sofa. I feel like it's been a while since I did any actual setting up here. Things have been hectic. They have been. At least the potions have been working. Definitely, that's a massive weight off. How's your brother? Lurking. Hallie's been making me give her updates every day in case he does anything weird. Well, weirder than usual. William picked up one of the leather-bound books, turning it over in his hands. Are you still looking into your own past? Well, I did have a list of things, most of which I haven't been able to cross off. I reached in my bag to pull out the journal where I kept my notes. I flipped it open to the page where I had all my research topics. Can I see? Can I move closer to him or show him the journal? Can't we just move closer to him, to be honest? I moved slightly closer to him, holding the book between us. William also leaned closer. What language is this? My language. Oh, just Spencer and I made it up when we were little. We used it as a code for a long time. You know, writing notes so Mom and Dad couldn't figure out what we were up to. We were pretty cheeky back then. Though I've heard I'm still a bit cheeky. It looks pretty. I looked up at him and smiled, suddenly realizing how close we were. Our eyes met, and he slowly crept into my cheeks. He swallowed nervously, then smiled a little. And I don't mind if you're still cheeky. Thank you. Alright. That puts you in a minority. I don't think that's true. He reached up carefully and gently pushed my hair. Whoa! Gently pushed my hair behind my ear. I think a lot of people appreciate who you are. You always underestimate yourself. I'm underestimating you, William. I didn't know you had moves like this. I captured his hand for just a moment, forgetting how awkward it was to be this close, forgetting how he could hear me thinking about how warm his hands were, what beautiful eyes he had. I think you underestimate yourself a lot as well. I think if more people had the chance to get to know you. I trailed off, lowering my eyes as his thumb grazed my cheekbone. His hand lingered for a moment longer, but before he slowly, almost reluctantly pulled it away. I should stop distracting you. No, distract me, please. I don't mind being distracted by you. His eyes flew up to mine, and he turned bright red at the sight of my teasing smile before he looked away. Still. Anyway, in spite of the huge list of topics, I think today I'm going to focus on brownies, and how to pacify an irritable brownie. Ah, the one that lives in your house. It's been pranking me lately. I thought it was mad at your brother. It seems to have shifted targets. I'm not sure what I did to make it mad, really. Anyway, it's apparently really mad. I thought about the toast incident. I just want to find out a way to make it less cranky. I can help you with that. I'd appreciate it. To be honest, I haven't done much reading about them beyond the basics, but surely there has to be some way to make friends with them. Perhaps some sort of gift or offering. Maybe, but I do think I read something about them hating some gifts, so I want to be sure I offer the right thing. Then we can look together. I'm sure we'll find something that can help. Too bad we can't Control F, type in the word hate, and then see what they hate. But it's in a book, so we can't do that. Thank you for this, for having lunch with me, for helping me look into this. You don't have to thank me. Of course I do. Buying my lunch, helping me out. You definitely deserve some kind of thanks. He just smiled slightly as he pulled one of my research books closer and opened it. Soon after that, we were both buried in books, ate our lunch as we chatted about our findings. It was nice. It wasn't especially long, so we had to work quickly. But it was still kind of fun and relaxing to research with him. Definitely less frustrating than working on my own, especially since it didn't take long for one of us to stumble on a possible solution. Apparently, the way to a brownie's heart was through its stomach. Who knew? I set my book down and leaned back against the front of the sofa, having relocated to the floor a little earlier. Man, I really did not plan on getting a super cranky fairy pet when we moved back here. I was going to try to start leaving some snacks out for it to see if it soothed its angry little soul. I hope it works. Same, I really don't want to have to try to kick it out of the house. That just feels wrong since it was there first. I sighed softly. If I hadn't joined the club, hadn't found out I was a fae, if I couldn't see the brownie and I didn't know it was there, what then? Would I just be pranking us mercilessly? Mercilessly? Would I be eating glass-filled toast without knowing? I frowned down at my book. What is it? I was just thinking about how different the reality of being here is from my expectation of what it would be like to come back. William carefully moved himself to the floor next to me. He didn't say anything as I ran a hand... okay. I thought I ran my hand around on his hair. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? As I ran a hand through my hair and poked at the corner of my book. I know this has been frustrating for you. I think you eventually adapt to it all. You're a very strong person. I hope so. Sometimes I don't feel so strong. Have you considered maybe talking to the murder about some of your larger questions regarding your past and heritage, or even just the sleepwalking issue, instead of just reading books? I really hadn't considered it at all. I mean, Allie did mention that they solve problems and things, but I kind of had the feeling they work on bigger things. Then again, when I'd been in there for the other day, Kaya had mentioned that I should ask them for help if I wanted to know things. Not really, they do everything, but their payment is a bit iffy from what I gather. The payment varies. It will be something unique to you. I think for information only, the price wouldn't be that high. I chewed my lip, thinking it over. I had initially wanted to tell Violet because I didn't want strangers fretting over me, and now William was suggesting to tell more strangers. At the same time, Kaya almost acted like she already knew something. That's why it had made me so uncomfortable the last time I was there. And since they didn't work for the management agency or anything, they probably weren't likely to fret up or make a fuss. Do you think they'll really be able to help? If they don't have immediate answers for you, they'll find them. That's how they work. Do you trust them? I think they're good people, if that's what you mean. They try to stay unbiased and they try to help people. Even the agency goes to them for information sometimes. If you want, I can go with you. You can always just talk to them a little before you decide. Like a consultation, getting to know them before I really reveal any secrets. Something like that. I thought about the last time I had been there. They definitely gave off the vibe of people who knew things. I wonder how much I could really talk to them about without revealing anything. Then again, I guess it didn't matter how much I revealed. As long as they didn't accept help, I wouldn't have to deal with their weird payments. I guess I can give it a try. Do you want to meet there after school today? Because of Samhain, I don't think I'm meeting guests today so soon. Though I guess there wasn't really much of a reason to delay it. I mean, if he wants to go today, we'll go today. Alright, we can meet there then. Are you sure? You don't have to do it just because I suggested it. Oh, I'm doing it anyway because you suggested it. No, I think it's a good idea. Checking books for that kind of information wasn't exactly going well anyway, and I trust you. If you think it's a good idea, I'm willing to try it. I did have to wonder why Allie hadn't suggested trying the murder, though. Then again, they did require payment. She might have been leery about suggesting something like that. Who even knew? I can always ask her about it after school, but she might try to talk me out of it. It looks like we're nearly out of time today. Was that the good choice? Because music didn't change. But then the music doesn't always have to change for it to be a good choice. I just need some more time to think about it. No, that was bad music. No, thank you. It looks like we're nearly out of time today. Yeah, just a few more minutes. We should probably clean up. I moved to stand, but William caught me asleep. Thank you for having lunch here with me today. No, thank you, William, for everything. For just being yourself. Thank you. No, thank you for inviting me. I'm glad I came. And thanks for helping with the whole brownie thing. You don't have to thank me for that. You always say that. It's okay to accept my thanks sometimes. You're welcome. We finished gathering the trash and cleaning up our mess right as the bell rang. We both had art next, and I felt it was kind of an unspoken understanding we'd be walking together, but I hesitated before stepping into the hall with him. Is it okay? I mean, going together? Oh, right. I was going to say, where are his spirit friends? But his spirit friends can't come into this room. His ghost buddies got kind of cranky if I talked to him much outside, though we'd had a few interactions without any mishaps recently, so maybe they were getting used to me. Still, it'll be okay this time. I'll take your word for it. We step into the hall together and I look both ways. The far end was creepy as usual, but it wasn't there was anything out of the ordinary, at least nothing that was visible to me. We started toward the brighter end by the stairs together. I asked Allie about the missing haunts thing earlier. She said it's still escalating. Yeah, the school has been quiet. What about your well, the ones that hang around you? They're okay? He lowered his eyes. Yes, the culprit has been targeting location-bound haunts, so I think it won't attack mine, unless it escalates and begins attacking roamers as well. Ali said it took out some sentinels that were guarding something in the mines. Can we talk about something else? Yeah, for sure. If you don't want it, we'll change it. I started at the almost panicked tone of voice that the moment I brought up the mines. Yeah, sorry. I shot him a worried look, but he was staring at the floor as we started down the stairs. Wonder what's that about? Given how upset he clearly was, I definitely couldn't ask about it. It was almost like I'd hit a nerve or something. But why would talking about that bother him so much? I don't know. I can't answer you there. The rest of the day went by fairly quickly. William and I didn't really have much chance to talk during lunch, or art. But I thought I might see him during my free period. Unfortunately not. He was in the clubroom, or anywhere else either. I wasn't sure what that meant for our meeting at the murder. Allie was going to be busy with work, so I wouldn't have to worry about telling her where I was until after the fact. After the bell rang, I waited for a few minutes, hoping William would pop up into the club so we could go to the murder together, but he didn't show up. What the fuck? Especially since he'd never gotten around telling me how to get there through the club. Instead, I got Mark Louie. Louie, right? Ugh. But he was better than nothing. At the very least, he knew the clubroom better than I did, but I'd almost never spoken to him. Outside of literature in the study hall we had together, I rarely even saw him, just a few times in the morning here or there. Hi, Mark. It's so beautiful to see you again. In fact, he completely ignored me as he came into the club and went straight to the bookcase for something. I watched him silently for a moment before finally venturing to speak to him. Mark? He paused and looked at me with what I assumed was a questioning expression. It was kind of difficult to tell with him. Do you know how to get to the murder from here? He raised an eyebrow. I was supposed to be meeting William there. I know there's a way to get there through the door, but no one has ever showed me how. You're meeting William Lee. Is there another William in the club? He looks so shook. He actually looks real cute here. Like, he doesn't look grumpy. What? Why are you and William meeting at the murder? Reasons? Why are you so nosy? He shot me an annoyed look, almost as if he'd heard that. People don't meet with William outside the club. Oh, I have several times, though, and I sit by him in class and even walk to class with him sometimes. So, yes, I've noticed that. Look, it's fine you don't know how to get to the murder. I was just asking. Mark let out a long-suffering sigh and put his book down as he strode across the club to rap on the library door 5 times in a specific pattern I made a note to remember. He started to open it but stopped, glancing back at me. I hope you aren't causing trouble for William. What does that even mean? I'm not causing trouble. He hasn't said anything about that. Mark pushed the door open, blocked the way, so I couldn't slip past him into what looked like some kind of courtyard. Do you really believe William would say anything if you're causing trouble for him? No, he would not tell me. He probably wouldn't. I haven't been trying to cause trouble for anyone. You say that as if you believe it's necessary to try to cause trouble. Your inability to objectively observe your surroundings could be troublesome, though. No offense, but it's really none of your business. If I'm causing issues for William, he needs to say so. And it doesn't sound like he specifically told you I am. You need to be careful interacting with him outside the club. It isn't as if the rest of us don't have a specific reason we don't do so. He didn't let me respond to that. He quickly stepped aside and motioned me through the door. That door across the courtyard will take you to the murder. Thanks, I think. He pulled the door shut, leaving me alone in the strangely warm summery courtyard that didn't feel at all like it was in Pine Hollow. What the heck was that about? And where the heck did he just send me? Chewing my lip, I started across the door he pointed out. That lecture was a little weird coming from Mark, though I had gotten the feeling that the two of them were kind of friends. That just made it weirder that they didn't interact outside the club, though. Ugh, questions for another time. To my surprise and relief, the door Mark indicated did indeed lead to the murder. I stepped inside, looking around curiously. There was no sign of William anywhere, though. If he didn't come to the club and he's not here, then where is he? We didn't discuss a specific time, just after school, but that did kind of imply right after. I pulled out my phone and sent a quick text to him to let him know I was there before I went up to order a coffee. Kaya was the one was the one working the register, and it was a bit weird interacting with her again, giving her our last discussion. I gave her my order as she rang it up. She smiled slightly. Just coffee? She gave me a knowing look, and nope, you know what I want. One that made me weirdly uncomfortable, like she knew I'd come to maybe talk to them. Though there's no way she could possibly know that, though. Then again, William read minds, maybe she could too. Just coffee, I said it firmly, definitely not wanting to get into any agreements with anyone, unless I had someone with me. Kaya looked sort of amused as she took money. It'll be a few minutes. Alright. I moved to the side, though no one else was in line, and stared out the window as Kaya went about making my drink. William wasn't anywhere to be seen outside either, and he hadn't replied to my text. When Kaya slid my coffee orders to the counter to me, I took it without making eye contact. I wonder if he got caught up in helping guests again. If so, he might not be in a place where he could text back. The last time they'd been wandering around town, so I decided to step outside and have a look up and down the street just in case. I really didn't think he'd just stand me up. That wasn't like him, but he definitely wasn't anywhere nearby. I mean, technically he could stand me up. Maybe he had something to do, which is what I'm going to assume. But this is where we're going to stop for today's episode. I don't know how to feel, but I feel like maybe William is trying to control his spirit friends. And I don't know why my girl doesn't already think that maybe his spirit's friends are following me home to do those pranks on me. I don't know why she's not thinking that. I don't know. But anyway, thank you guys for watching today's episode. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
touch it.